Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're taking you on a journey through one of the most underrated yet historically powerful states in the US, South Carolina. From the misty Blue Ridge Mountains to the sunlit shores of the Low Country, this state is more than just scenic. It's a living storybook of American beginnings, hidden battles, and enduring culture. You may know Charleston for its charming streets or Myrtle Beach for its summer crowds, but beyond the postcards and beach umbrellas lies a world waiting to be rediscovered. This is a land where Native American heritage, Revolutionary War fortresses, Gullah traditions, and untamed wilderness all live side by side. In this video, I'll be sharing 10 incredible places across South Carolina, spots that reveal the state's deep roots, natural beauty, and unforgettable spirit. But South Carolina isn't just about the past. It's alive with color, cuisine, and culture. Whether you're paddling through the swamp forests of Congaree, climbing the cliffs of Table Rock, or walking through towns where every building has a story, you'll find yourself stepping into history with every footfall. From Fort Sumter's fire-scarred walls to the gentle hush of Spanish moss in Beaufort, this state is filled with mystery, resilience, and natural wonder. And as we travel, you'll meet the people who call this place home, storytellers, chefs, artists, and locals who carry South Carolina's legacy forward with heart and pride. So grab your walking shoes, your sense of curiosity, and maybe a glass of sweet tea. And let's explore the hidden corners, powerful moments, and timeless beauty of South Carolina. This is a place where history breathes, nature whispers, and every mile tells a story. Let the journey begin. Number 10. Fort Moultrie and Fort Sumter, standing watch at the entrance to Charleston Harbor, are two of America's most storied military sites, Fort Sumter and Fort Moultrie. Fort Sumter is best known as the site where the first shots of the Civil War were fired in April 1861. When Confederate forces opened fire on the Union-held fort, they ignited a conflict that would divide the nation for 4 long years. Today, the fort sits on a man-made island in the harbor, accessible only by ferry, giving visitors a sense of crossing not just water, but time itself. Just across the harbor, on Sullivan's Island, Fort Moultrie holds a much older chapter of American history. During the Revolutionary War, it played a crucial role in defending Charleston from British attack. The fort was constructed using palmetto logs, which famously absorbed enemy cannon fire, helping the Patriots secure a critical early victory in 1776. That same resilience is reflected in South Carolina's state flag today. Named after Colonel William Moultrie, The fort continued to evolve over the centuries, serving as a key line of defense through World War II. Its layered history reflects the changing face of coastal defense, from cannons and muskets to submarine nets and radar towers. Both forts are part of the Fort Sumter and Fort Moultrie National Historical Park, where visitors can explore battle sites, historical exhibits, and sweeping views of Charleston Harbor. A popular way to experience the area is to begin at Fort Moultrie, exploring its centuries of military history, then take the ferry across to Fort Sumter to stand where America's most devastating war began. Together, these two sites tell a story of struggle, strategy, and survival, offering a powerful window into Charleston's role in shaping the nation's past. Number 9. Folly Beach. Folly Beach is more than just a stretch of sand. It's a living, breathing slice of coastal South Carolina. Located just a short drive from Charleston, it marks one of the easternmost points of the continental United States, where the Atlantic Ocean rolls onto sandy shores, creating a timeless meeting point between land and sea. This 6-mile-long barrier island is shaped by the powerful rhythms of nature. Ocean currents, tidal creeks, and shifting sands continuously redefine its coastline. The surrounding salt marshes and estuaries create a dynamic ecosystem teeming with life, while the beach itself acts as both a natural buffer and a recreational escape. Surfers from all over the region come here for a reason. With some of the most consistent and rideable waves on the East Coast, Folly Beach is often called the Edge of America by locals and surf enthusiasts alike. Whether you're catching an early morning swell or watching a fiery sunset dip below the horizon, the water always seems to call. But the beauty of Folly isn't just in its waves. Offshore, you might spot the majestic North Atlantic right whales as they pass close by during their seasonal migrations, a rare and awe-inspiring experience. Shorebirds dart along the tide lines, dolphins play in the surf, and loggerhead sea turtles occasionally nest along the dunes, all testament to the rich biodiversity found here. At the heart of the island is Center Street, the town's vibrant main strip. This is where beach life meets southern hospitality. Colorful murals, quirky boutiques, ice cream shops, and seafood restaurants offer a warm welcome. The pace is slower, the smiles more genuine, and the community spirit strong. Street musicians provide the soundtrack, and every corner seems to tell a story. Historically, Folly Beach holds deep significance. Several sites around the island are listed on the National Register of Historic Places, connecting today's visitors to chapters from the Civil War era and beyond. It was once used as a Union base during the Siege of Charleston, and remnants of that era still linger in the sands, and stories passed down through generations. Surrounding marshes and inlets are more than just beautiful, they're vital. These wetlands serve as nurseries for fish, crabs, and birds, making Folly a magnet for birdwatchers, kayakers, and nature photographers seeking unspoiled views and close encounters with the wild. Though the population remains modest, the identity of Folly Beach is anything but small. The city's commitment to conservation and sustainable tourism reflects a deep respect for the land and its fragile ecosystems. It's a place where people don't just visit, they return, year after year, drawn by something both simple and profound. So if you're looking for a destination that combines natural beauty, outdoor adventure, historical depth, and a tight-knit coastal community, Folly Beach invites you to slow down and stay a while. And if you're enjoying this journey, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but it means the world to us and helps us continue exploring hidden gems like this one. Number 8. Kiawah Island. Kiawah Island takes its name from the Kiawah people, a Native American tribe that once called this coastal stretch of South Carolina home. In the early 1600s, the tribe's leader, or cacique, guided English settlers to the area that would become Charleston, helping shape the future of the Low Country. Beneath Kiawah's tranquil beaches and whispering palmettos lies a rich and layered history that spans centuries. Following colonization, the island passed through many hands, including those of a former pirate turned planter, whose life bridged the gap between the lawless frontiers of the Atlantic and the rooted ambitions of the Southern elite. His story reflects how adventure and settlement collided on these shores. In the decades before the Civil War, Kiawah's wide pastures supported cattle farming and modest agriculture. Life here was quiet and rural, standing in stark contrast to the political and social unrest growing across the country. One of the most influential families in the island's history was the Vanderhorsts. After their estate was damaged during the Revolutionary War, they rebuilt and became prominent stewards of the land. Through fires, storms, and national upheaval, they managed nearly half of Kiawah, shaping its landscape and legacy. After the Civil War, newly freed African Americans lived and worked on the island. Their labor and perseverance were crucial in reviving agriculture during the difficult Reconstruction era. And their cultural imprint remains an important, though often overlooked part of Kiawah's story. From its native roots and revolutionary past to its role in the post-war South, Kiawah is more than a luxury retreat. It's a living record of resilience, transformation, and the enduring connection between land and people. Today, Kiawah Island is known for its natural beauty, with protected marshlands, quiet forests, and miles of unspoiled beaches. But it also offers something deeper, a glimpse into early American colonial life and its evolving legacies. Number 7. Columbia. Few people realize that the spark that ignited the Civil War's most destructive flames was struck right here, in Columbia, South Carolina. In February 1865, during the final months of the war, Columbia was set ablaze. Union troops entered the city just after midnight. By dawn, the skyline was glowing red with fire, casting shadows on a city already scarred by years of conflict. In a single night, over 2/3 of Columbia's commercial district was reduced to ashes, including government buildings, shops, homes, and even churches. The exact cause of the fires remains a subject of historical debate. Some blame retreating Confederates, others point to Union soldiers, or even accidental sparks fanned by high winds. But whatever the origin, the damage was undeniable and irreversible. Yet out of that devastation rose a city determined to rebuild. Not just with brick and timber, but with vision and resilience. Columbia didn't surrender to sorrow. Instead, it transformed into a capital rooted in endurance. Much of the city's current layout reflects this rebirth. The wide boulevards and open spaces you see today were intentionally designed to prevent future fires from spreading as rapidly, a lesson written in ash and flame. At the center of Columbia stands the South Carolina State House, a powerful symbol of both survival and memory. Bronze stars embedded in its walls mark the exact spots where Union cannonballs struck, preserved as quiet reminders of the siege and the struggle that defined a generation. Not far from the capital, preserved antebellum homes still line shaded streets, and the ruins of old cotton mills speak to Columbia's past as both a political hub and a center of southern industry. The wealth that once flowed from cotton came at a human cost, and Columbia, like much of the South, carries the echoes of that complex legacy. Today, Columbia is more than just a place that endured history. It helped shape it. From the ashes of war, it has grown into a modern, diverse, and thriving heart of South Carolina. Universities, museums, and cultural centers now fill spaces once reduced to rubble. And the city continues to evolve, mindful of its past, yet focused on its future. Columbia stands not only as a capital, but as a testament to fire, to rebuilding, and to the quiet strength of those who refuse to let destruction define them.
Number 6.
Congaree National Park. In the heart of South Carolina, just 20 miles from the state capital of Columbia, a different kind of forest thrives. Lush, untamed, and timeless. This is Congaree National Park, home to the largest remaining tract of old-growth bottomland hardwood forest in the United States. Spanning over 26,000 acres, with large portions designated as federally protected wilderness, Congaree is a place where nature has remained largely untouched for centuries. Here, the forest is alive with towering bald cypress and tupelo trees, many draped in Spanish moss. These trees grow in the wetlands, their massive root systems sprouting knobby projections known as knees, a striking adaptation to their swampy surroundings. The Congaree River winds gently along the park's edge, carving through the floodplain and creating a dynamic, ever-changing ecosystem. In wetter months, the river often overflows its banks, sometimes flooding the forest up to 10 times a year. This seasonal rhythm shapes the land and nourishes its biodiversity, but also makes on-foot exploration challenging. To accommodate visitors, the park features a 2.4-mile elevated boardwalk loop, allowing guests to walk above the floodplain and observe the unique environment without disturbing it. From this perch, you can spot owls, woodpeckers, wild pigs, deer, and even the occasional bobcat, all under the cathedral-like canopy of ancient trees. For those wanting a more immersive experience, Cedar Creek offers a peaceful alternative. Marked water trails guide canoers and kayakers through winding channels beneath overhanging limbs and dense foliage. These are not adrenaline-filled whitewater adventures, they're serene journeys through a living, breathing forest where the only sounds are the dip of your paddle and the hum of life all around you. The park also offers free ranger-led canoe trips, ideal for learning about the delicate ecology and deep history of the region. Visitors can opt for guided or self-led tours depending on their pace and preference. While the park is a sanctuary, it's also a true wilderness, meaning you'll need to prepare for the elements. Insects, especially mosquitoes, can be intense, so it's important to check conditions and warnings before your visit. Congaree isn't just a haven for wildlife, it plays a vital role in the health of our planet. Wetland forests like this one absorb carbon dioxide, produce oxygen, filter water, and serve as a buffer against floods. They are among the Earth's most essential ecosystems. Congaree National Park is more than a collection of trees and trails. It's a reminder of what the land looked like before cities and highways, a preserved piece of wild America that welcomes us to explore, reflect, and breathe deeper.
Number 5.
Beaufort. Beaufort is one of the oldest towns in South Carolina, and you can feel its history in every brick, every breeze, and every ancient oak that shades its quiet streets. Founded in 1711, Beaufort has endured wars, hurricanes, and generations of change. Remarkably, many of its original buildings from the 1700s still stand today, weathered but elegant, whispering stories from another time. The streets are lined with centuries-old live oak trees, their limbs draped in Spanish moss like nature's own lace curtains. Grand homes with wide front porches invite you to sit for a while, to slow down, and to watch the world go by, just as people have done here for hundreds of years. During the Civil War, Beaufort was one of the first southern towns captured by Union troops. But instead of destruction, something remarkable happened. The town became a refuge, a place of hope for thousands of enslaved people seeking freedom. It was here that the Port Royal experiment began, a bold initiative to educate and empower freed African Americans, laying the groundwork for future progress. After the war, Beaufort didn't fade away. It adapted. Plantations gave way to fishing villages, farming communities, and eventually a flourishing tourism economy. But through all the change, Beaufort never lost its soul. Today, you can still step into churches that have stood for centuries, wander through quiet graveyards where Spanish moss sways above stone markers, and explore small museums that preserve the stories of Native Americans, settlers, soldiers, and freedmen. Every summer, the Beaufort Water Festival brings the town to life with music, boat parades, food, and laughter. A celebration of community and coastal heritage that draws people from near and far. Walk down to the harbor and you'll see sailboats bobbing in the tide just as they did long ago. Stand at the water's edge, and you can almost picture what life was like here 200 years ago. A time of hardship, hope, and resilience. Beaufort may be small, but its story is anything but. It's a town steeped in history, shaped by strength, and open to all who want to listen.
Number 4. Greenville.
In the heat of the American Revolution, Greenville's earliest plantation was reduced to ashes, burned down in retaliation for its owner's loyalty to the British Crown. But from those smoldering ruins, a new kind of settlement began to rise, one built not on allegiance to kings, but on the grit and vision of pioneers. What began as wilderness gradually transformed into a community shaped by bold settlers, hard-working cotton mill laborers, and dreamers who carved railroads through the Carolina hills. In the late 1700s, a man named Richard Paris played a pivotal role in Greenville's founding. After forging an unlikely alliance with the Cherokee people, Paris was granted more than 100,000 acres of land, a vast stretch of wilderness that would become the foundation for a new frontier town. Years later, Vardry McBee, often called the father of Greenville, helped steer that future. A visionary industrialist and philanthropist, McBee donated land for churches, schools, and, perhaps most importantly, the city's first cotton mill. His investments laid the groundwork for Greenville's emergence as a southern hub of education, industry, and faith. By the 1850s, the steady whistle of trains echoed through the surrounding hills. A new rail line connected Greenville to Columbia, ushering in trade, prosperity, and tourism. The city quickly became a popular summer retreat for low-country residents seeking cool mountain air and scenic views. Then came the textile boom. Dozens of mills sprang up across the region, spinning cotton into cloth and transforming Greenville into the textile center of the South. For generations, these mills became the lifeblood of the community, fueling both economic growth and a sense of shared identity. Even when war, depression, and industry decline struck, Greenville endured. Its people rebuilt, reimagined, and reinvested in their city, never letting go of the belief that this place could be more, that it had a future as vibrant as its past. Today, the city's transformation is visible everywhere. The red brick warehouses of the textile era now house restaurants, galleries, and shops. Tree-lined streets wind through revitalized neighborhoods, and the Reedy River, once forgotten, now flows through a thriving downtown park that draws visitors from around the world. Still, the past lingers quietly in old mill towers, historic churches, and shaded riverbanks. They stand as silent witnesses to Greenville's journey, a story of resilience, reinvention, and a community that never stopped moving forward.
Number 3.
Hilton Head Island. Hilton Head Island is a beautiful place in South Carolina, known for its coastal landscapes. The area features marshes, palm trees, and large tides. Visitors can enjoy the stunning views of dolphin sightings and herons searching for fish in the shallow waters. However, Hilton Head's story goes much deeper. During slavery, the island had large plantations where enslaved Africans worked in harsh conditions to produce rice, indigo, and cotton. Many enslaved people kept strong ties to their African roots, which led to the emergence of Gullah culture. This culture blends African traditions with Southern experiences and is expressed through language, music, art, food, and spirituality. In 1861, Union forces took control of the island, providing a safe haven for formerly enslaved people. They established Mitchellville Freedmen's Village, which was the first self-governed town for freed African Americans in the United States. Here, families built homes, set up schools, and participated in elections, creating a strong, independent community based on freedom. Today, Gullah Geechee culture is still important to the island's identity. You can hear the Gullah language, see sweetgrass baskets made by hand, and taste traditional dishes like okra stew and gumbo, made with fresh seafood. Hilton Head has developed into a popular vacation spot with golf courses, hotels, and fine dining. Despite this, the island also celebrates its cultural heritage. Events, art centers, and storytelling gatherings help keep the Gullah community's history alive. Neighborhoods such as Gullah Hill and Spanish Wells reflect this rich legacy. Their history is alive in the everyday lives of people who live there. Hilton Head Island is more than just a tourist destination. It is a place to learn about the past, where history is woven into the trees and the landscape. This island isn't only scenic, it holds spiritual meaning as well. Hilton Head is a living tapestry of sea and soil, struggle and hope, memory and significance. Like a Gullah basket, it carefully holds its history and sense of identity.
Number 2.
Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, now one of America's busiest and most beloved beach destinations, was once a stretch of quiet wilderness, untouched by the waves of tourism that define it today. But the story of this coastline begins long before the rise of high-rises and boardwalks. For centuries, it was home to the Waccamaw and Winyah people who fished, hunted, and lived in harmony with the rhythms of the sea. European settlers arrived in the late 1700s, but the sandy soil and coastal storms made farming difficult. Growth was slow. Only a few determined families, like the Withers, called this remote area home, their days shaped by the isolation of the land and the unpredictability of nature. In 1822, a devastating hurricane swept across the coast, claiming lives and forcing the Withers family to abandon the land. For years afterward, the shoreline returned to silence, wild, wind-blown, and largely forgotten. That changed in the late 19th century when visionaries like Franklin Burroughs and Benjamin Collins saw opportunity in the untamed coast. Burroughs and his company built a railway to connect the inland timber operations with the ocean front, not for tourism at first, but for business. Yet that connection to the shore sparked something new. With easier access, others began to see Myrtle Beach's potential as a seaside retreat. In 1901, the Seaside Inn opened its doors, the first hotel in the area. Around the same time, a naming contest gave the town its identity, inspired by the wax myrtle shrubs that grew along the dunes. From those modest beginnings, Myrtle Beach began to grow. Boardwalks were built, golf courses carved from the sand, and amusement parks rose by the waves. It wasn't just a beach, it became a destination. Today, Myrtle Beach is a symbol of resilience and reinvention. A once wild shore reborn into a vibrant hub of family vacations, beachcombing memories, and sun-soaked fun. Yet beneath the buzz of arcades and beachfront bars, the echoes of its quiet past still whisper through the dunes. Number 1. Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina, often admired for its cobblestone streets, pastel antebellum homes, and southern charm, holds a past as haunting as it is historic. Its harbor wasn't just a center of commerce. It was one of the main entry points for the transatlantic slave trade. Nearly 200,000 enslaved Africans were brought through this port, torn from their homelands and forced into brutal bondage. By the mid-1700s, Charleston alone was responsible for almost half of all enslaved people imported into the American colonies, making it ground zero for a system that would shape the economic and racial foundations of the United States. The city's wealth, once flaunted in its rice plantations, indigo dye, and later cotton, was built entirely on the backs of enslaved laborers. The grandeur that tourists admire today was constructed by hands that were shackled. The very bricks of Charleston's iconic homes, churches, and public buildings were molded and laid by enslaved artisans. Its streets were paved not just with stones, but with the sweat and suffering of people who were denied their humanity. In the heart of downtown, the Charleston City Market still stands. Once a bustling site of human commerce, it featured auction blocks where men, women, and children were sold like livestock. Today, visitors browse local crafts and sip sweet tea, often unaware that only steps away, families were once ripped apart forever. But Charleston has not ignored its past. In 2018, the city government took the remarkable step of issuing a formal apology for its role in slavery, becoming one of the first southern cities to do so. This was not a symbolic gesture, but a significant act of acknowledgement in a region where historical silence once reigned. Since then, Charleston has made strides to elevate and preserve African American history. The International African American Museum, located at Gadsden's Wharf, the very site where thousands of enslaved Africans first arrived, serves as a powerful testament to their lives and legacies. Walking tours now include the Gullah Geechee heritage, giving voice to the descendants of enslaved Africans who preserved their language, culture, and resilience against the odds. Today, Charleston is more than a scenic postcard. It is a living archive of America's complicated story, one of elegance and oppression, pain and perseverance. By confronting its legacy head-on, Charleston invites reflection, education, and a deeper understanding of what it means to remember. In doing so, it honors the millions whose lives were stolen, yet whose spirit endures in every brick, every shadow, and every story told. Outro. From quiet mountain trails to sunlit island shores, South Carolina offers more than just history. It offers moments that stay with you. Each place reveals a different chapter, some bold, some tender, all part of a story that's deeply Southern and deeply American. This is a state that doesn't shout to be noticed. Instead, it gently reminds you why you came and why you'll want to return. Whether it's your first visit or your fifth, something about South Carolina always calls you back. Because South Carolina doesn't just ask to be seen, it asks to be felt. Thanks for joining the journey. We'll see you in the next adventure.